Hey YouTube, and thank you for watching Junkworks DIY Garage. Well, the OG is finally dead. Hopefully we can revive him though. What it is here, it's my very first LED 4-foot hanging shop light that I put magnets on. I have videos of these and the reason why I did all this, but for an underhood light. And although it's somewhat working, I got a bang on it to make it work, and if you stick it upside down, which is how I use it, you got a bang on it. As you can see, it's definitely got a short somewhere. So I'm going to dig into this, and it'll either become a scrapping video or a fixed video. We shall see. First of all, safety. If you do anything I do and you hurt yourself, I am not responsible. If you don't like the way I'm doing it, don't do it, and you are responsible for your own safety. But I will say, things like this can have capacitors and things in them. I don't know, I've never actually pulled one of these apart, what's inside of it, but capacitors hold electricity. Make sure, obviously, should go without saying, it is unplugged. But even unplugged, capacitors can hold juice in them that can hurt you or kill you. So, and since the switch is on this side, the plug's on this side, and I need to tighten that up anyway, I'm going to try and pop this off of here, and we should be able to just unscrew this first of all. And that should pull that off. Then I need to get a little screwdriver, which I can probably use my Leatherman here, but a little screwdriver would probably work. And there's a little square notch up in here that is this plastic piece kind of pops into. I'll peel this off the end here. I'm not sure what you were seeing there, so unscrewing this. Now we got to get the bolt out. And that's just the chain that has the magnet on it. So don't know if I'll need a wrench on the other side too. No, my finger held it. And this is just holding what appears to be like a ground strap thing on here. There's another screw up here which I can't get to the other side of, so I don't know if there's a nut or bolt. It doesn't look like it. That looks like that's holding something in there, which I'm hoping might be this whole situation here. So I'm going to try and pop this out of here. Different pair of pliers. There we go. So how does this work here? There we go. So that, you squeeze in, pop that out, and then this just comes off of here, which should allow, hopefully allow this to come out. Yep. To some extent. Now we are hooked to the LEDs here. I'm curiouser and curiouser. Yep, this pulls off of here, which reveals the LEDs right here. And I think they are just flat out glued on there, and I think they brought this whole thing in, set this along here, and glued it down. So this may be more difficult than I thought to get into here. I don't know if I can pull this off of here. Yep, it's caulked in there. Well, right now I wouldn't want to use it anyway, so if I break it, not too big of a whoop. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off of here. Well, I was able to use this, it's an old like chainsaw tool that's kind of bent up on the end here and has a bit of a end on it that fit down in there, and I just kind of use that to kind of pry this away. So that's out of there. We should be able to pull this the rest of the way out. You got to feed the plug. All right. So that's the whole thing out of there. Put this across here and see. I'm really not seeing a whole lot of why it's not working. We're inside of here. This comes open here, and we have all kinds of doodads and thingamajigs inside here. So I'm going to look through here first and see if there's anything I can, like that right there, that I can jiggle and make problems. I think it might be this one right here. It's definitely wiggling and jiggling, so we'll see. Alright, well, this is blinding the camera, so pretty much all you can see is the light that's on here, and it came on when I plugged it in. And I'm thinking it's this. And I think I'm right, but I don't know why. So now I know it's this right here, and I can see the little wire sticking up that when this comes down it goes inside of, but I'm not seeing, so it's, I don't know if you'll be able to see any of it. It is this one right here is going through here and attached to nothing back here, and then these two here are coming in and going out. So one of these has got stuff coming in here, it's going around the winding, and then it's coming out, but I don't know if that's a ground of some sort that's supposed to ground this body out. But I think that's plastic, and that's the weird thing. Where this seems to sit, I am not seeing where it needs to be. Alright, well, for the life of me, I can't really figure it out, but I have it, so it's working. So I'll show you what I did. Yet again, probably not a good idea. You should probably just throw this thing away, but I'm not into throwing things away, and if I can make them work for a little bit longer, I'm going to. So I'll just make sure that this one, anytime I'm using it, I know it's one that I'm going to turn off before I leave the garage in case there's any problems. But here's what I did. I took trusty old electrical tape and I taped that sucker down where it seemed like it would be good. You could solder this, but I honestly cannot see what that thing solders to. Whatever it is just wants to touch the body, and it feels plastic, but maybe it is an aluminum or metal of some sort, so it just needs to ground against the body, and it's no longer doing that. But as soon as you tape this down, it grounds it to the body. I honestly don't know, but it did fix it. It's not glitching every time I move anything, so I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. Now, other thing, this is probably going to build heat, but it is right next to the heat soak, so we'll see. This whole thing is kind of a heat soak. It's a big giant aluminum piece inside, so yet again, you get to choose to do what you want to do for your own safety. So now I'm going to go ahead and plug it in one more time. Make sure while I was messing around with it I didn't end up messing something up or breaking some lights or something here. And that works. Turns off and on. I can turn it whatever way I want, shake it around, and it's not dying. So what I am doing is now to the point where I'm putting the LED strips back in here, and what I've decided to use is this 3M double-sided tape. Now, a couple things why I'm only putting a piece every, few inches is a couple reasons. One, this stuff is really strong. It's meant to hold like moldings on cars and stuff like that. So if I ever do have to work on this again, this will make it so I can, with a heat gun, hopefully get this off. And the other reason, this stuff's pretty darn expensive, and I don't want to have to use any more than I need to anyway. Now, you'll notice, hopefully, on the back end of this, I peeled the stuff off, most of it. Some of it didn't come off. I just used a heat gun, and it came off pretty well. But all I'm going to do is take this stuff and use a razor blade here. Hopefully, I'm not totally in your way. And then I'm just going to take this and try and kind of pull it a little bit tight, and then stick it down in between each of these with as much strength as I can without interfering with the LED lights. And hopefully this should hold this stuff down. If I have a problem in the future, you'll know. I will do a video on it. Well, as if this light dies in the future again. So I gotta make sure it's all the way to where you want it, otherwise it kind of bunches up here. But you may end up having a problem with that as it is. But a little bit of bunching here and there shouldn't hurt it too awful bad. You won't know the difference. Especially if we can pop this piece back on here. As you can see, I have beat the ever-loving tar out of this. I've painted over it with stuff. I've dropped oil and grease and everything else on it, and I've dropped it I don't know how many countless times, just not worrying about it, basically. Alright, then we got to put the side pieces on. That's pretty simple. Those just clip on. And I will say the other side had a little black cap that went in here. That I had to pop underneath the light a little bit and then pop this in. This one obviously has the pull chain in it. So bring that through. So that goes on like that. I can bump it all around, drop it, the piece will pop out. The piece popped out of the end here, which I wondered if that might happen. It didn't pop out of this side because this was hooked. So it's should be good to go for a little bit longer here. Thanks for watching Junkworks DIY Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all have a good one.